Reconnecting. Yeah, I think we're back. Sorry for that. There was a minor issue with the stream. I think we're back now. Hopefully. Let's see. Maybe it had to do with this headphone. I should recharge it next time. Okay, I think we're in this. Yeah, okay. We're in a new stream, at least on YouTube. We probably lost all our viewers. Sorry for that. Live. Watch now, okay. I think we should be back. Yeah, 0 viewers. Yeah, sorry. Watchers. There was a drop of the connection. Not my fault, I think. Welcome back. If you're back. Okay. Well, that's what happens. Let's open up nice piano music. Why not? Let's get into it a little bit. Let's give a bit of time for people to show up again. So these are the subgroup query collections. You can only use them if you create this index. So you can do this offer, review, and you can do an index, and then you can use this index to query it. So instead I like enabling collection group indexes the same way I enable composite index. First write the code. While I run the code, the client will give me this error message. Following the URL, it will take me to the console and you can just click it. Yeah, I think I did this once. And now I get this warning every time I deploy. So I think we also need the indexes in code. Yeah. So the trade-off is if you want to search this one by restaurant, then we need to have this composite index. If you have a sub-collection, you don't need it. But if you want to group or do query across groups, then you need to make an index here as well. So you can do both. Let's get back into the video.
I'm going to go ahead and keep the structure here. Okay, Todd from 2018, back to you. Now, as long as we're here, let's talk one further refinement. Remember that in my restaurant details page, I've got my restaurant info and then the snippets from 10 recent reviews section at the bottom. And so with my current database structure, I'm either populating these review snippets from a review sub-collection or my reviews top-level collection. And that's fine, but that does mean bringing up a single restaurant page is now 11 document reads instead of 1, and yes, I will get billed for those. And if you consider that a typical user might click on some restaurant details, skim the reviews, go back, and repeat that process several times, that can add up to a lot of reads. And so if I really wanted to avoid all those extra reads, I might look at creating a review snippets field in the original restaurant document. This could contain like the first 100 words of the 10 most recent reviews, maybe a headline and the author name. Basically enough to create a presentable review snippet, but not so much that I'm downloading a ton of unnecessary data for each restaurant. And again, with the help of some cloud functions, which I promise I will talk about in a future video, I could keep those in sync. Now this is nice because I'm now only reading in one document instead of 11, and it simplifies the loading of this page because I only need that one document, which most of the time will already be in memory. Plus, if I ever do need to show more reviews or the full text of one of those reviews, then I can read those in from the individual review documents. But is this optimization worth the extra code needed to keep these values in sync, along with the extra data our user is loading in every time they bring in a restaurant? Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, viewing restaurant details is a user-powered action, which means it's not going to happen like several times a second, right? it'll more often happen like a few times over the course of a several minute session. So this could be a case where you end up doing a bunch of work to save like 1 million reads a day or 60 cents, which may or may not be worth it. So I think this is one of those situations where you're going to have to measure what's actually happening in your app and decide accordingly. I know that's kind of wishy-washy recommendation, right? But that's software development for you. Okay, next example. How would we store flags for restaurants? And I'm talking about little binary.
So if I hear him talk about optimizing for these queries, it's mostly about cost and not really about speed and performance.
Values for like takes reservations, is romantic, and so on. Put those away. 2 months ago, I would have said the best way to store these would have been either to make these as individual fields inside the restaurant document or group them into a map field. And to be honest, these are still perfectly reasonable solutions. But now that we've added the array contains field, I could just as easily put these into an attributes array. Then it would be pretty easy to search for all restaurants that take reservations. But keep in mind that right now you can't run 2 array contains queries on the same array. So if I really do want to look for restaurants that are both romantic and kid-friendly, which is kind of an oxymoron, I know, I should keep using separate fields. Should have read the reviews first. Okay, now here's a fairly common case you're going to come across. What about storing a list of users who can access a document? Now this is a very common piece of data you're going to want to keep track of, particularly in collaborative. For example, let's say our restaurant has what could work better. Option 1, fine. Like maybe I have the restaurant name, cuisine type, and address stored.
Yeah, he talks about these
this is a big chunk of extra so
properties.
Easy to load up if I ever
Yeah, this is not really that
need to show
relevant, maybe.
Restaurant ID and enough of a snippet about the restaurant to populate a My Favorite Restaurants page. Now, grabbing all the restaurants favorited by a specific user is a very simple query, so creating that My Favorites page is very straightforward. And it's just as easy to grab all the instances of a particular restaurant if I ever need to change or update this denormalized data. So you know what? I'm going to say this. Hey, if you have a store, this is my...
So yeah, I think I have enough info to make it now. So let's recap what we made without our first attempt. How does our Firestore looks now? So we have this goals. I'll just do the full. This is the old Firestore. Let's do all the collections. Let's see how we can improve it. So we had activities. That's one we already had, and we had goals. And goal had the adventure. We can do it in the same layout they do with these collections. How did they display it? It was pretty nice. Sent to the back. So we have some goals. These are documents. This is the collection. And each goals had these adventures. And the adventures will have like, again, documents. This is the current Firestore. These are documents. Now we have activities. And these don't have anything. So I only want to do the relevant things. So what do we have? The curriculum profile is not that interesting. Yeah, and in the goals we had this snippet. So maybe just take a look at this data in the goal. So this is a goal document. I'll just do it like this. A goal document contains like some info, goal info, and then snippet of adventures. So that these adventure status, published, arrays, array, but also the adventure status needs work. So we had 5 of these snippets, and every time you went to this goal page, and it still works this way. Let's go to a goal page. We'll look at the goal page. So for example, these adventures, they're still adventures in the backend. So we have these 5 lists, and these contain like the snippets. And if you go to the history page, you would get like the full adventure with some status updates. And let's also do the status. So this adventure, let's just take a look at the Firestore, how that works. Localhost. Let's bring it in. So we have the goal, and it has like this adventure, and the adventure will have this updates. It's quite complex, to be honest, compared to this already. I'll have this updates. Every adventure will have its own updates. Collection. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, I'll try. Goedemorgen, Black Tomcat. I will try to keep the kiss. To keep it kiss, indeed. I will. Yes, the stream was just down a little second, so not sure about the connection, but we're back now. So I'm happy to see someone in chat, Black Tomcat. Yeah, we're trying to to think about these collections. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just down maybe 10 minutes ago. I don't know exactly. Yeah, okay. That's great, that's great. So we have these updates. Yes, El Papa, welcome back. Yeah, there was a connection issue, but Google worked, so I'm not sure. It might be like some Streamlabs issue. I don't really like Streamlabs, but I have to figure it out. At least we're on YouTube as well now, again, but there are now 2 videos on Twitch and on YouTube. It's not great. It's not great. So I have these updates. And if we go to the work page, we'll get this adventures and we'll get the updates. So if we are in this page, you'll see like this is the adventure data, that's one query. And the updates is also a query. Because we want to show all the updates here. It feels like it could be... This might be a bit overkill to have the updates like this. Feels like it might be a bit overkill because you never want to sort of... Yeah, it needs this time ago, but... will this be one query? Yeah, like that's an open question. Let's say we have 10 states updates. That's, I think, one query to get them all. I think that's called as one. So this might be okay. Might not be. So what's the alternative to this? So this adventure will also have a status. Yeah, another Papa indeed. Yeah, definitely. Replace. Yeah, that's actually a thing. Because there's a lot of these groups for mothers and stuff like that. Pregnant groups, yoga groups, a lot of groups for mothers, but there are not a lot of groups for fathers. It's not a thing, you know? So I think we need it, like a barbecue with the kids, where you can drink some beers, have some fun. There needs to be more father groups. That's my view. It's starting to become a thing. Yeah, not there. I was even searching for it, but maybe I should start my own father group. It should be a thing, definitely. Would be nice if there needs to be fathers, because the kids can then entertain themselves and the fathers can chill, talk tech, blackjack hookers. Now, it should be kids friendly. That's sort of the deal. There's a lot of bars and stuff like that, but it should be sort of kid friendly. It should be kids plus fathers, so you can sort of bring it after school. You can chill. Bring your kid and just have a good time. That's the idea. So this is, I'll just move this here. Should be a thing. It will be a thing soon when the emancipation is complete. I think so. It will be a thing soon. So it is adventure, but we also have these connections. So we have these prerequisite connections, and this is a connection to a learning goal. So this will contain some information. Yeah, these are connections, objects. They have these learning goals. Let's see how it looks in the data. For example, these are the adventures. So yeah, so we have big ideas. We even have battles as well. Yeah, I want to take this time to reflect a bit on. There's also these updates here. This is some information about the connection, a lot of timestamps when it's edited and created and modified and published and needs work at. Okay, it's a bit strange that it contains like all these things, but you sort of have the history here as well. Like when. I like it. All these dates. Published ad and progress ad. You can sort of see the history by just this one object without having to go to the updates. The updates will be these messages, these posts. So you can on this page you can react and you can make a post. That will be an update. So would I want to see all the updates someone made? I think so, right? So I think these updates should be a collection on its own. And then we need to use these queries. Let's do the new one here. The new Firestore. I think we can simplify this quite a bit. So there's also updates here. These sub-collections. And we can still do this collection group query if we need to, but I think we can sort of simplify this. Yeah, what I see is that we can do a lot with queries, more than I used to think we could do. So we have to really get into it a bit. Maybe do some more different music. Let's see, tropical feels. I like that one. I like the do 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 do. I'm not sure what was it. If I see it, maybe. Okay. That's sort of the best song on Epidemic Sound I heard. Let's do a random one. We will maybe. Let's do just a random summer music because the weather is not so great outside. Oh, sorry, you liked piano. Yeah, sorry. I apologize. We're now in the summer vibes. Da, da, da. We did like an hour of piano music. That's enough. So, updates, activities will be one. I will get this tablet thing to draw. So, okay. Do it again. Got the arrow. So might be working a little bit better. Not sure. Activities will be a collection. Goals will be a collection. Adventures won't be a collection. Yeah, what to do with these connections? They're really part of a goal. But let's say we want to display this sort of map at one point in time. How would we do this? It would be nice if we could just do one query with all the connections, maybe a limit depending on the range, the steps or something. Take like one current connection. I have a feeling limiting it to the goals might be... I have a feeling this could also be a top level connection. With maybe connection. So one thing I noticed with these current structure we have, it's maybe too complicated. We have 5 of these status things. So when we want to do the snippets, we'll have like 10 of these arrays we need to add to the goals like this. It's not great. Especially because we have these different pages for it. This goal is not looking too good. With all these revision lists as well. Yeah, we also have the revisions. We forgot to add that, but that's sort of a top collection as well. That's this revision. So we have a bit of experience now, and we can sort of... now is the time to refactor this. Now, maybe not now, but at least for the activities. Maybe not the connections yet, but maybe we should do that in the next sprint. But I do like these top collections. Using these queries to get like the relevant data. But I depend a little bit on Todd. What did he say? Todd from the future.
Of security rules are probably easier to write when enable a collection of queries in cloud.
So I think Todd from the future has a message for us. So let's hear the message.
Firestore are always fast. So grabbing all reviews for
yeah,
Todd.
We missed it.
Now this gets interesting. Your first impression might be, oh no, don't do that. It's going to be a lot harder to get reviews for a single restaurant. But that's not the case. Remember, queries in Cloud Firestore are always fast. So
queries in Cloud Firestore are always fast.
Grabbing all reviews for Todd's Tacos from a collection of 3 million reviews takes essentially the same amount of time as just grabbing all the reviews from a single sub-collection.
So it doesn't matter if you do it in a sub-collection or in this one big collection. You can just query it. It will be always fast. There's some drawbacks.
I could also do things like search for all reviews by an individual author without...
You can search by author. So this really feels well for me because we have all these pages. And instead of having to make all these sub-collections like we do here, so that was my initial idea, like we have this sub-collection, sub-collection, sub-collection. We might be better off just doing a query, like this custom query, custom query, custom query. If we can do that, that will be much simpler than having to change it in 6 collections, for example. But we'll see. Depends also a bit on the data that we want to store.
Out having to enable.
Because you cannot really filter the data that you want to retrieve. You just get all the data in the document.
A collection group query. On the other hand, some things are a little harder. Specifically, doing something like grabbing reviews for a restaurant sorted by date or sorted by score or sorted by most popular would require a composite index, whereas I wouldn't need that if these reviews were already in their own subcollection. Also, a number of security rules are probably easier to write when I'm dealing with subcollections of a specific document instead of another top-level collection, mostly in cases where you're going to want to restrict access to a subcollection based on what's in their parent document. So, like I said in the last video, if you really think most of your queries are going to be across all reviews and not by restaurant, go with a separate top-level collection. But if you think you're mostly going to be doing searches by subcollection, keep them that way and add support for the collection group queries you know you're going to want to use.
So yeah, that's the trade-off. I do like how he explains it, so that's really useful. And if I look at these, so it's not really by goal that we want to search, because we have this teacher, want to search by teacher, want to search by goal, we want to get the statuses. And this might be still relevant to be, we'll have to see. We want to see the teasers. Activity page. So this might be different collection still, because it's only the teasers. Here we want to see the revisions. Let's get back to the music. Some summer vibes that makes us think. So how will these work? With this activities, it will contain everything. It will contain the quizzes. Let's take a document. Let's take a look at this document. This will be the activity doc. This is just one document in this collection. It will have these title, description, quizzes. Maybe even battles. And the battles are stored here, so that will be from the goal data. But now we have to get them separate. Yeah, from goal data. So when we show an activity, we have to do two queries. One is the activity and then the goal battle data. So why not just combine it? Maybe not. This is like a question mark still. So yeah, the issue is if we want to get like the activities with the status. Let's say I want to do this page, the published activities. Then we need to query this based on goal ID, so it also has the goal ID. Then what will be the query? It needs to have a status. Status. So the query will be give us all the activities where goal ID is X and status is published. Now we get like the activities to show. And if we want to order it on something, order on date, and we do want to do that, order on date, then we need to build like this composite index. Then we can do the ordering. Hey, relax, man. You're talking about you should have made it by now, right? You had a week to make it. I'm actually Nova now on CSGO, so I'm getting there. Yeah. So what about it? Activities returned by the activity. So yeah, we can do this, but the issue here, if we do this query, we also get like all the data. We get the quizzes, we don't need them. We get maybe the battles, we don't need them. So we don't need the quizzes. and we get the video. We don't need that. So it will return way too much information. So we want to optimize on reads, and only the information you actually want, we return it. Return. Only the information that you want to display. That's sort of a nice... So this is not really great for this query. So we could make like a new object. Or it could be part of this connection maybe. So we use the connection for linking learning goals, but why not use it for adventures as well? It could be like this. I think this is the solution actually. I feel good about this. So we have this connection. And the connection will have a type. It could be adventure, prerequisite, big ID. And this will have this connection ID. Depending on the type, it will either link to activity. Yeah, this is activity. I'll keep calling it adventure. It will connect either to an activity ID or a goal ID based on the type. What we can do is also do goal ID, and it could be empty. Connection goal ID and activity ID. I think we call it like this. And it will have like the fields that we want to display, like a title and a description. And these dates, created that, etc. We have a lot of them. This can have a status. This will have a status. Yeah, this is the architecture. I feel it. This is it. This is we solved the puzzle, I think. Because then you can, if you want to show this page, you can do this. Give me all the connections where type is activity. What's going on? Why is this not? Okay, where type is activity, where goal ID. That's the goal ID should be set always. Where goal ID is X, where status is published. And we could set like this active. Yeah, maybe just call it activity ID. Could be empty. Activity author ID. Teacher ID. So we can then also do like different queries. If we want to see the teacher page, we can just query based on teacher instead of goal. Status is published. So this could be one query for in the goal page, but then the other one could be, instead of the goal ID, we could do where activity teacher ID is the teacher. And then we have the second page. Then we have this page, and this page we have as a query. And what about this work page? Yeah, let's skip that for now. This history, yeah, I think we solved the first two pages. That's pretty important, these connections. We only have one top collection, where we can do these queries, and we do need to create this order on index. So I think for both queries we need to make like a different collection group index or composited index. Not sure which one. I think the composited is different. And here it doesn't have a status anymore. It could have this connection ID instead. Connection ID. I'm not sure. Because we want to search for this goal ID, but we also want to... The teacher should be able to change the goal ID, and only the teacher. So we have to do some permissions on it maybe, but if we have the teacher ID, we could do it. If the user ID, yeah, it's a sort of a user ID. So if this is the same as the current user, then it can change the goal ID of the connection. And the other fields are you can sort of change them. The title description as well. These are sort of limited by these security rules. This one. So the activity ID should be limited. I think this should be fixed, sort of fixed maybe. You shouldn't be able to change it. You shouldn't be able to change this one. Then we could do something like transferring an activity from one teacher to the next teacher. That could be like a feature. Yeah, I think we can use this. And if we do these queries, we only get like this information and not this information. So that's why we want to do the title description here, because we want to show it in the data tables. Like here, title description. Maybe a truncated version. I have to see. And then we have this. We have this return only information we want to display. This uses then the not the teacher activity collection, but just the connections. Connection. And this one as well. So they will use the same collection called connections. And the work page, yeah. Yeah, maybe not think about this now, but I think it will be sort of the same. So we have these updates, and they're part of this connection page. And we have this curriculum profile. So the normal way of showing these updates will be in this connection page, but not on the teasers. So this would make sense then to. But if you're in this work page, you also want to see some more data from the activity. You want to see the quizzes, maybe. You want to see the YouTube video. You want to see the description, the type, difficulty. So you want to see a little bit more information. This is sort of the info you want to see on this work page, on this info page. And then here you want to see all the updates. Yeah, it's complicated. The revisions. So maybe we shouldn't think this through now. I'm thinking of the best way of continuing. I think this is sort of given. These activities will not be part of the goal ID. There will be a goal ID here, so you can easily filter it if you need to, but you never need to do this. And this connection ID also has this we can do like the goal ID. The issue with this new system is that we need to rewrite a lot of code because we sort of build it like this and we need to refactor it to this system. And I don't want to have to refactor everything at once, but some of this update is unclear how this should work. It's sort of a combination, this page. If you go to this connection page, you want to get the activity ID to get the info. You want to get the status updates. What about revisions? Goals will have revisions. That's currently a top collection as well. And the talk page with the replies and the posts, it's also a top collection. And that works actually pretty well. So we don't really have a lot of issues with these revisions. But these revisions contain like all this diff, so they'll contain like a revision will contain like a whole learning goal, all the info currently. And if we want to make revisions for activities, we should also get like the whole learning goal or activity. And then we have this history page in the goals. That might be better as a history or something. And it will contain just some snippets of revisions. I'm just thinking out loud here a little bit. History, where then revisions, snippets. So this will be just some date and author, maybe the teacher ID and the goal ID if it has one, or the activity ID. So just the information to display this page, this history page. So author, a date, some ID so we can link to it. Currently this is, I'm not sure how it is created. Yeah, we use these arrays to update the goal. But I really don't like this because it's only for this page. So this is like the main page. It only should really get the information that's related to the learning goal and not like all these other. It's quite complicated, but yeah, we get a little bit too much info every time. And this is the talk page. Yeah. Have these revisions. So a revision you can watch and you can see the differences. So it will load the differences and then you can see like what has changed. You can go back, you can edit it, you can sort of browse it. As you can see, it's quite slow, these things as well. And I think because we have to also get like the previous revisions, we currently get like 2 objects. I think that's probably, we can do this with queries. So to show this div page, you need to have like two docs, and then you can show the difference between them. Yeah. I think we can probably work with these these collections. So goals, updates, activities, connections, history, and revisions. And we still have this talk page, of course, with posts. Let's see how that looks. I think we went a little bit too quickly on this sub-collection path, because we want to sort of query this data in different parts of the website. And if this is true what he says, that it doesn't matter if it's in a sub-collection or not. Where's the thought from the future? This one. Let's verify it one more time. What does he say? Because I trust him.
But that's not the case. Remember, queries in Cloud Firestore are always fast. So grabbing all reviews for Todd's Tacos from a collection of 3 million reviews takes essentially the same amount of time as just grabbing all the reviews from a single sub-collection.
That's sort of a main point. I do trust him with this knowledge.
I could also do things like search for all reviews by an individual author with...
And this is sort of the feature that we want. Search by author, search by teacher ID, search by goal ID, even search by activity ID maybe for some cases. Or it will be just a way more flexible than having all these sub-collections and sub-collections. That's sort of the issue we have now. It sort of limits our freedom a bit.
Enable a collection group query. On the other hand, some things are a little harder. Specifically, doing something like grabbing reviews for a restaurant sorted by date or sorted by score or sorted by most popular would require a composite index.
So it's harder, but it is possible.
Whereas I wouldn't need that if these reviews were already in their own sub-collection. Also, a number of security rules are probably easier to write when I'm dealing...
Yeah, just easier to write. That's okay. We can live with that. We can live with some complexity if it provides all these cool features for us. So... yeah, that's sort of the main thing we should do. So I think this is indeed... we can still do this group collection, but this also requires an index. But we can sort of do it this way, but... yeah. It is a choice. What do? We can pick one. Sub-collections or... This sort of the choice. We could do sub-collections or we could do these composited queries. And there's no one good way of... it depends on your application. If I want to order restaurants by rating, I can do it without needing a composite index. You have a limit of 200 composite indexes. That is a limit. So should you store things in a separate top-level collection versus using sub-collections? That's the big question. If you think you have a situation where you're mostly going to be querying documents based on a common parent, and only occasionally want to perform queries across all collections, go with the sub-collection setup. So if you think you have a situation where you're mostly going to be querying documents based on a common parent, and only occasionally want to perform queries across all collections, go with the sub-collection setup and enable collection group queries when appropriate. On the other hand, if it seems like no matter how you divide up your documents, the majority of your queries are going to require a collection group query, maybe keep them as a top-level collection. So, reading behind the text, I think this if statement is quite important. And if we don't do this, and we want to query like on different places, we want on the teacher profile, on the so we want to query basically anywhere, maybe even on the curriculum pages. We want to get the status updates. So in our case, this first if statement is not true. This is false. And if this is false, we should do the other one. That's how I'm reading this. So we should do the top level collection and not the sub level collections. Only, yeah, even like the posts, for example, we do replies and posts. So we could say like replies will only be shown on a post, and then it's a sub collection, it will make sense. But maybe we also want to show like the post on the profile. Like here, we want to show the latest post. And then if these profiles are important, and we think they are, then sort of this sub collection is not the way to go. Then we need to do the top level collection. So even for replies, maybe. Where is it? So we have these talk pages. So let's see how we made it now. It's a talk page, and on the page there is something. Yeah, on the page there are posts, and on the post there are sometimes replies. So we have like this sub collection and a sub collection. So we really went all out with these. Where's the replies? Something with replies, maybe. I think not. Okay, yeah, here are the replies. So this is now the URL for a talk page. We have a talk page, and then the talk page will have posts, and the post will have replies. So why this talk page? What is on there? Like, why do we want to have like this collection? It only contains post and a type. Yeah, so this is, I think we can refactor this instead of this. Let's do the old one first. So instead of this talk, post, and reply, it's probably better just to make one post collection. Oh, I think I grouped it wrongly, but okay. So instead of doing this, talk have sub collections post, and a post have sub collections replies, we can just do one top level post. I'm messing up, but this could then be just posts, and the post could have then a goal ID, a curriculum profile ID, the content. So we might want to show the teasers as well, but there's no really teasers for post. Just we could do is reply or post parent maybe. That's if it's set, it is a reply. Content, goal ID if it's in a goal page. Then we can also do post on. Yeah, so we have a difference between this work page, these status updates, and posts. So that's fine, maybe, but maybe it could also be a post, and then you could do like this. Yeah, no, we should separate it. I think maybe not. But we can like do the teacher ID, the curriculum profile ID. Yeah, the title could be empty for a reply. So with just this top level collection, we can do all queries. We can query on. We can do the query on curriculum profile ID. We can, let's do is first get post where goal ID is X, and that's sort of the, and post parent is null or something, and that will be like the order on date posted. And so again, this composited, messing up the name. But we can do this query. But we can also do the query where we show it, where not the goal ID but the curriculum profile ID. Is X and order by and then we get all the posts, and then we might not even do this, but we get all the posts and all the replies from this curriculum profile, and we can limit it still if we need to. Yeah, it's nice. And what Todd said about these snippets, so we can make the snippets for in this history, that's sort of a snippet thing. But we can, this is sort of optimization where you, what was this history page? So on history page we'll have like all these, yeah, that's for the, this was for the revisions. But you could also do a history of posts. And then you would have like this, sorry. I have like this post ID that could also be part of it. Could all be part of it maybe. So you can get like a history, sort of a snippet of all the data of a user offer. I'm not sure about this curriculum profile. Yeah, that's the offer information. I think this was more for the revisions, but yeah, maybe not to the post. So yeah, we can use these snippets to optimize these queries. Like these have quite a bit of queries, and depending on the cost, I think we can optimize them. That's sort of what Todd said, instead of optimizing it in front, because we don't know yet how often these queries are executed, and sort of a big refactoring, because if you use these snippets like we do now, it requires this Firebase function, it requires some backend logic. It is complexity that we're adding, and we want to reduce complexity as much as we can. I think this is the way to do it. Instead of all these sub collections, we'll do all these top level connections. And we'll just use these queries to get it on the page. Okay, yeah, let's try that out. I'm confident about this architecture, so I'll take like a quick break and then we'll think about how to implement this. So how can we go from this old Firestore collections architecture to this new one? And we focus on the activities, so we'll not focus on the connections now. We'll probably do some of the legwork, because we need it also for the activities. So we'll sort of want to keep this prerequisite and the updates and the talk page. We'll not touch that, but we'll create this one and this one. All the things we need to get this functionality for the new activities. So this is the new activity interface. We want to keep the focus on this, but we'll sort of lay out the first steps for this new architecture. And next sprint we can maybe refactor the prerequisite connections, because we also use these ones in the machine learning thing, so we have to refactor that as well. It's a lot of refactoring, but hopefully it's for a good cause. I think it will simplify a lot of the issues we had with the platform. So I think it's worth doing this now, because if we keep building on top of all these sub collections, Yeah, at one point it will be too costly to refactor, you know? If everything works, it's pretty costly now. It will take at least a few days, maybe a few weeks even, to get it into this new structure. And if we keep building on it for years and years, it will be impossible to change. And we now have some experience to think about it. All these different pages that we want. We see sort of the end product. We have to release in a month, so we do have to do it now. That's my conclusion. And we start with the activity. So this is the feature we'll make. So I'll do take like a quick toilet break, eat a banana, and then we'll make this. We'll make this top collection. We'll make this connection collection. We'll try to make as much as we can. And this sort of for the work page. We'll think about the revisions maybe, because we want to show them in the activities, but they're not like a high priority at the moment. We want to first get like the main connection for the activity and this work page for the goal set. We'll retire all these old arrays and the goals, and we'll keep it a little bit clean, a little bit more structured, a lot better hopefully. So I'll be right back. 5 minutes or something, and then we'll do it. We'll work on some Firebase thingies. Alright, let's do it. It will be awesome. I have the feeling that this is sort of making the project a whole lot easier. Especially these connections. It didn't feel right, like these 25 arrays of snippets. So what do we change here? The README. Did do some of the regex. Yeah, we did change these forms. Yeah, let's just commit this for now. Initial work, new activity. Yeah, we did the teacher lounge. We did the sidebar thing. I will not push this yet because I'm pretty sure the test will fail. But at least it gives us a bit of a clean state, blank slate to work on. So, where to start? So we'll ignore all the code that we used to have. We'll only focus on the new things. So we'll go to the teacher's room, to the open activity. You select the learning goal. You add a title, a description. You can update the preview. We fix the bugs. You set the type of activity. Let's fix that. Also have this edit. So we used to call it adventure, but it's activity. That should refresh automatically. Yeah, the type, we set it the difficulty. We could do some stars maybe later. SVG image, the video ID. Let's take one. Maybe one of the test things. So we lost the management link because it shouldn't no longer be needed, but it contains like still the old content. For example, this Cypress boss. We have a Vimeo ID. Let's use that one. Where is it? Here. Okay. So we do a Vimeo ID. We'll add like in 5 seconds. There's a multiple choice. Pick one. 1, 2. Create. And it says activity created. Because we already had this activities collection. And it created this activity. It has the description, a raw description, a difficulty. Goal IDs is empty. Why? Because we have this as a default value. Goals can be gone and goal IDs. So we don't start a goal ID. That's one issue we have now. Where's the goal IDs? Why is that stored then? I think we did this in a function actually. Well, let's get rid of that. Activity? No. I'll just search for it. Goal IDs. It's probably something with these goal IDs. Because it's sort of coming from nowhere. I'll just search the whole code base. See if I can find something. Helper. Okay, yeah. So it was in this get activity save data. We loop everything and then we push the goal IDs. This is no longer needed. This one as well. And goals. Let's get rid of it. We do want to get some goal data. But that's for a different time. So we want to have the teacher ID as well. Let's create a new one. Test it out. test. I will just do a few test things. It's okay, without a quiz, without a video. Doesn't matter too much, I just want to see if the data is okay. So now it's cleaner, it has this SVG, a title, a practice, a video, yeah it's empty, but it should have a video later. So this, why there is a quiz with no answers? Because we set like the default one, but could be an issue. Should just be empty and not just have this this default value. Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, I think there was this issue with the default value, but yeah, let's go to the helper. So we have this quizzes. It's in this quiz form where we add them. Oh, sorry. And here we do this add quiz by default. This add quiz will add things to the array. Nah, let's not do this. It's not really nice UX wise, but what's the issue? Because you still have to click the button add quiz. Yeah. So the issue is we see this question. So we only should show the question if there is a quiz. This question. And I think the issue is because it's we show this, yeah. Maybe here, if quiz's length is greater than 0, then we show it like this indeed. Why don't we do that one here? Isn't that better? Not sure about this. What did I do? Okay, let's see. I'm messing up the diffs again. So this nav is like an important one. So let's do it around that one. And it used to be here. It should be here. So this if should be around this nav. Yeah, now it should be okay. Yeah. So this is better. You have to do a new quiz first and then you can add answers. Yeah, this is okay. And then we don't have to do the set like a default quiz. And if there's no question, yeah, it's gone again. Yeah, I like it. It's better than the default thing. Dun, dun, dun. It's a better interface. So let's make a new test one. Just do an easy one. Test. There will be some default values and that's okay, but there shouldn't be any quizzes now. Yeah, quizzes is empty. Yeah, this is okay. Test title, description, raw test. So this is sort of the easiest activity you can make without a video. Nah, this is not great, but well. This is sort of a required field for now, but we will change that later. Okay. So we want to add like the goal ID here in this because it's linked. Oh, so we have this learning room, teachers room, lounge, activity, and then the goal ID. And we have it, and we need to also do the goal title. So we just want to just get the goal here, just the full goal. This is an edit form, so I'm okay with making a little bit more queries, getting a little bit more data. This is not a page you'll see that often. So, and not on the quizzes. But in this activity form, I do want to get like the goal. At least in this create. What does it do? Firestore. Yeah, here we save it. Export let goal. And same for the edit form, but we'll do the edit form later. That's a different thing. So let's go to the teacher's room in the routes. Lerarenkamer. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it like this. And then there's this activity, learning goal, and this is loading the form, this create activity. So we can sort of set this to get the goal as well. And we have this get goal component, which is quite handy. Get goal data, what was it? It's this separate component that will load some data, set some default values as well if it's missing. I don't think we need it anymore, but yeah, why not use it? I like to use like this component because we have to get the goal quite often. Not sure if we do need to still do this, but why not? Lib goal and then this get goal data. So how we use it is it's like this: get goal data, bind Firebase, and bind goal. I think that was it. We might need to set the goal ID as well. Let's see. So Firebase goal. Yeah, we do need to set the goal ID to this params goal ID instead of ID. And this will load the goals collection with the goal ID, and it will get the data, and it will sort of bind it to this value here, this goal. So that's the way to do it. Get goal and then bind. Goal ID is page params goal ID. Should be enough. Then in this create activity, we should have the goal. We can log it. And we also want to display this goal. There was this interface we thought about, this learning goal, and then the link change button, change, and that will go back to this page, and you can select a different one. So this sort of also needed for the form to display it, at least to display something. So we don't get anything. Let's probably get an error. Okay, we do get it. It's undefined. So we'll try to get this goal hopefully. So does it exist? Yeah, it should get this one. Has this, all this data. We'll clean this data up. It will be way less data. Is this auto-tune? I saw a video yesterday about is it auto-tune or not. I think this is auto-tune. Let's see, where was it? Is it auto-tune or not? Yeah, this one. Is it auto-tune or not? That's the question. This. It's pretty interesting to watch. We should get the. It feels like it's auto-tune, this song. And let's do the next one. I think if we detect auto-tune, we'll skip it. That's my new thing. Detect if it's auto-tune or not. No. So why it's empty? Why don't we get anything? Let's test it again. It's undefined. So if it's undefined, then we shouldn't really see it because we test on this. Yeah, we don't bind it. We also need to bind it in the component. So we forgot this line, bind goal. If we do test it here, if it's undefined, it shouldn't show the form. That's how we know. Refresh maybe. Without expected proposition goal and Firebase. Maybe, yeah. Why? How do we do it before? Get goal data. This is sort of the default thing. Bind goal, bind Firebase, bind mounted. Do we have the variables? Let's test it. What is? Do we have Firebase, goal? Do we have them? Anything in the terminal or something? I don't get this error. Let's refresh. See if we can. Print it here. Undefined, undefined. Wildcat here, what's the goal ID? The goal ID shouldn't be undefined, it should be set to this params thing. So maybe that's the issue. Page params, yeah. It looks like an L, but it was a typo. I think it was a typo. Now it's fixed, hopefully. Yeah, now it's fixed. Get all this information from the goal as well as the goal ID, hopefully as well. Yeah, the goal ID and the title. That's the thing we want from this. Yeah, it was sort of similar, right? This L and this I. Yeah. It's better not to make typos, but at least we discovered it. Sometimes you're stuck for hours. Yeah, see you in a bit. So we now only have this. Oh, what's this? Seems like Firebase. What is this? Initialize app. It seems like Firebase instead of a goal. There we are. Have it. So we have the goal. So we can sort of display it in the form as well. Maybe on top. I think that's sort of, you've selected the goal, so it's pretty script. So we have some taxonomy things here. Where's the form fields? There they are. So it's this divider, and then we start with the taxonomies. Ah, this is the goal, sorry, the goal form. Thought so, what was a strange code? This is better. So we have the title, and we have this divider. If we add another divider here, then we could do this. This div is sort of big div. So maybe enter here. Close it. So I want to copy paste things because this tailwind is sort of a bit unintuitive. All these divs and divs and divs. It should look okay. So at least we can hopefully see another title on top. See how it looks. It looks like this now. It's a text area, div. What's this? Div. Oh. It's this initial thing. Yeah, that's the top div. Yeah, so we don't need to do that twice. Just need to include this then in the in this one maybe. See how it looks now. Yeah, this is okay. And then we can set this title to learning goal. Goal. Leerdoel. And this should be goal. And we can couple this value. Man, this is not a text area. It will just be a span or a P. With activity. Let's think. Because we do want to store like the goal ID in activity. So we can say it maybe like this. If goal. This is reactive, so every time the goal changes, this will change as well. Then we set the activity goal ID is goal ID. And activity goal title is goal title. If we do it like this, then we have access to the activity goal ID in the form. And then we can do this activity. Let's do the goal title here. We'll make it a link. So you can see the title of the goal ID, but it would be nice if we could click it. And go to this goal. That's the goal ID. I think it could work. So we have this link now, and we should see a link. Yeah. If you click on it, we'll go to the goal ID. We'll get like the full thing again. We might want to do this warning when you're editing a form. Are you sure you want to leave? You can also click it with control and it opens in a new tab. The basic browser features. And then I want to have a button to change it. Wijzigen. Let's theme it a bit as these buttons. Maybe do the one of the quiz. I do like that one. This one, for example. So we have this button, wijzigen. It can have this class. And then we can do some go-to things. On click, and then go back to search goals. That's just a function which we can make. Function go back, and then we have go to. No, need to import this go to thing from Svelte navigation, Svelte kit. This one. Can say go back to this URL. Go to. Oh, we just need to get the URL thing from this activity. This is the URL that I copy pasted. Go here. So when we select one, we have this button, wijzigen, and it will go back. Yeah, it's probably okay. Maybe we can add the button here. Is it better? Feels like it's a bit out of place. This can take like a lot of space, these titles. These learning goals can be pretty specific and concrete and smart, and it will take a lot of text sometimes. So let's move the button to the left, see if that's better. Not sure if it's this, but I'll see if it works. This is not okay. No. It looks okay, but no, it's not okay. Why not? Make a part of the label. Not sure if we can do this. Let's see. Is it floating or something? No. Why is it here on the right? Do we float it? Yeah, we do float it. Let's remove that. It's not much better, but it's sort of a little bit better. Try to display it as a block. Yeah, it's probably better on the right, and then without the float and with the block display, then it's on a new line. I think that's okay. Maybe we should float it. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Let's see how it looks. Just test it. Yeah, this is okay. Wijzigen, select, and if you do it like this, is yeah. I think it's okay. So it's pretty up there. Like, what do you want to change? This learning goal. I think these lines are all over the place now. So why do we have this extra line? Border top. Maybe remove this line. I think that was a line, yeah. The spacing does matter. Maybe this line then. Just remove the classes. See how it looks. I think these are just lines. Oh, it does a little bit more, but if we remove this top, it's probably okay now. Yeah. We have the learning goal, you can change it, you can search another one. Let's test it out, let's use that one. And then this will be changed. So it's pretty fast. Learn all the names of the Radiohead members. Yeah, this works. And now we have this title, description, the type of activity, the difficulty. Maybe we want to have the type first. And it sort of helps with the description, I feel. We have the learning goal, type, then the difficulty. Why do we call it difficulty? It's moeilijkheid. Might need to do some explanation here as well. This div, the type, so let's move it up. Oh, no. These are all the items. This is the type. All this code. And what is the title? That's this one. Oh, that's the learning goal. So after the learning goal, we want to display it. So it's a bit difficult to change, but you just need to pay attention to the diffs. So we have the learning goal with the type of activity, oefening, uitleg. It should be easy. You can sort of select first what you want to make. Then you have the title, description, video with quizzes. I do like this one, that this is sort of together. Select a different one. So I have this meeting in this evening with some, it's from this learning group competition. That's pretty awesome. We talk with Steve, Steve Ritt. I'll check it out. Let's take a 5-minute break, just chatting a bit. Let's take this Pomaro break. We can chat a bit. We can chill. I think we're almost here with this form, and it will just take some time. And this is sort of strange. Maybe we should move it to the right as well, but this whole form looks a bit strange. It's an event brittle. Yeah, they have a bit of a strange time zone because they are in the US, and oh, I think I didn't register. Okay. Oh, I can check it out in the group. It's from this Carnegie University, and he's like the head or of, I'm not the founder. Not sure what that means, but he's pretty high level. Yeah, Carnegie Mellon. Yeah, that's the people from this Oli platform. a webinar. They organize a lot of these webinars, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, I think it's open. So I even discovered like this new webinar, and it's pretty amazing. It's from a Dutch researcher. So it's this one. It will be 14th of December. But it's Inge Molenaar. And this is pretty great because she's Dutch and she did some research. So I even downloaded an article from her. That's sort of... this is the top article. What can moment-by-moment learning curves tell about students' self-regulated learning? So I think I read this self-regulated learning before, but it seems like a whole scientific research field. And they use these learning curves to determine like what are they actually learning during a lesson and during... and you can sort of... I'm not sure how they measure it. I didn't read it yet, but yeah, you can sort of measure a few things. And it's Dutch, so I can visit her maybe. Have like a little podcast episode, like Lex Fridman. Get some cameras in there, ask some tough questions about the knowledge learning instruction frameworks and how to best. But it's nice, it's in the Netherlands. It's helpful. And it's in Rotterdam or something. Yeah. And she's like a big is a fellow. She's part of a fellowship as well. So it's a nice that she's there. We can sort of read the research and maybe I'll make a video about this as well. Like, what is this self-regulated learning? And they call this adaptive learning technologies. And yeah, it's just interesting read overall. But that's not the webinar that's today. Today is a different one. It's from this, let's see. Webinar. There's a few webinars. It's a bit spammy sometimes. Yeah, I can call it Steve. Yeah, Steve Ritter. I have it in my history. Let's take a look. Yeah. So this is Steve Ritter. And he's the founder and chief scientist of Carnegie Learning. And he's been analyzing, evaluating educational technologies for over 20 years. He has a PhD and numerous papers focusing on improving educational effectiveness in its product services. Yeah, so we have a little chat together with this learning lab. Oh, thanks for following Rawal. And we'll have a little bit of a chat. So one question I want to ask is, they have this Oli platform. I think he's sort of he has some influence over this open learning initiative from Carnegie Mellon University. And they do everything for free. They even do their YouTube videos. They publish them, the meetings they have. They have the source code of Taurus. That's their new platform they're developing. They have it on GitHub. This one, you can just download the code and make some courses. It's pretty open. It's a MIT license. So it's great, you know. They support this open data. They have this whole data. What's called data something. Energy data of learning. There's a lot of these. What was it? Yeah, so many institutions. There's this whole there was a name for it, data lab or something. No, not that, but they share all this research data for researchers. So it's pretty open, pretty awesome. And then I'm like, okay, let's do a course. Let's see how good it is. Let's just go to Oli. Let's see the courses they have. Let's do one, like Coursera. Let's just just do one. Oh, there's the courses tab. Not sure if it's on screen for you. Let's see. Yeah, it's just in stream. There's courses, and you can sort of. Okay, let's do the academic instructors courses. Learning how to learn. I'm interested in that. Okay, we have some cool things. Evidence-based management. Learning to learn online. Okay, let's do it. Why not? Let's follow it. Like Coursera, I can maybe audit it. No! Paywalls. I have to fill in this old 2001 form with all my information. I have to make like an account. I probably will be contacted by phone by some salespeople saying, does your school want to do this? So it's not really accessible for me, to be honest. I'm not going to fill in these forms. And it costs $10 per student. I can pay that. That's not really a big deal, but yeah, why not have this open? So there are reasons for this, and he has 20 years of experience in evaluating software. And I'll just ask the question: why isn't this free? Why isn't it like something everybody can create courses? And why is it not like more like Wikipedia? What is like the big barriers that you need to fill in these forms, and that why isn't this free for everybody? Why can't I change it for my own course? Just change a few things if I want to, or help creating the course. I'm pretty knowledgeable about learning objectives by now, so I could maybe contribute a little bit if I want. Why can't I do this? Now, these are just some trying to nudge the discussion, like why isn't there like a Wikipedia for education? There's this Wikiversity, but no one uses this, so why not? That's my question. What is the reasons? What sort of barriers do we need to conquer to get sort of these courses open, and that we can then take it for our platform as well? So it would be nice if we have like it is a sort of maybe a bit more ideological, but that we have like these technologies that they can compete, like the best technologies win. But then we have like the data, the courses, the quizzes, content, courses. And you see a lot of this, at least in the Netherlands, a lot of this is free, but also not really extensive. So, but you have these Creative Commons licenses. So if everything, all the content is in this Creative Commons license, then we can just compete based on the best technologies. But what I see, like the competition is not like this. This is free, and then we compete like what are the best technologies. And this could be free or proprietary, private, paid, unfree. So the perfect situation for me would be like all this open source technologies and this open content. There's this sort of synergy between them. As this then will be, and there will still be different projects, different ideas about creating these technologies and creating the content. It could all be open software. So share the code, and they do already do this, the technology, they do share it, but they don't share the content. That's why not. And how I see, like, most of this content is created by teachers. They are paid by a government most of the time, so sort of everybody pays for it. So it's the taxes. The taxes pay for it. And then they pay again. So they pay once for like creating the content, and then they have to pay again to access it. So they have to pay twice these taxes. So it's sort of also like pretty expensive to do it like this. First they have to pay to create it by paying the salaries of the teachers. And then they have to pay for access. And now there's this competition, like who can create the best courses and who can get the most schools to pay. And how can we make sure the schools pay as much as we can to get the most profit? I think that's not like the best system for it. But I will have to... I asked the question already, so we'll see. It's only 1 hour, so we cannot go too deep into it. But I at least want to sort of bring the discussion to the people in charge. And that is nice that I can do this actually. So I'm pretty excited to sort of have this webinar, ask him anything I want. That's pretty cool. I enjoy that sort of debates. I don't want to sort of win the debate, but I sort of want to see why can't we do this? Everything open. What's the reason that we can't do this? He has like the experience, so he could probably say, oh, it's this reason. Reason one, and reason two, and it's been tried before by XXX, and it didn't work because. And you can sort of think about this. How can we make it so we can make it work? Well, that's a bit of an ideology statement. Okay, so yeah, that's part of the project. I think a large part of this educational space is political. It's about winning on ideas as much as winning on technology. So yeah, it's an important part of getting people involved, I think. So it's a nice first meeting. We'll see how it goes. I probably will make like a question as well in this group and see if I can get like a little bit of a discussion going. But yeah, it will be nice to do this in this meeting. Yeah. So this is today, and I will update you guys on Monday how it went. That will be cool. I will take notes. And then I think it's open for everybody. Everybody can register. So if you're interested, you can also join the meeting. It's pretty late. I think 6 hours after the stream or something. 5 hours. Okay. That was a nice break. We didn't take too much breaks, but yeah. Just want to share that details. And maybe I should do this course anyway, but I'm not sure how to buy it, you know? How do I buy this course? Even if I want to pay, there's no link. I cannot just start. Even if because you have to be in the school system. It's not just for everybody. Effective teamwork, effective instructions, critical questions. So it's pretty nice maybe to do the course. And I can pay this amount, that's no issue, but there's all these modules. Now, it's just strange that this open learning has like this strange interface. You have to contact the sales team. I don't think it fits, you know, with the open learning initiative thingy. Yeah, but maybe I should just do the form thing. But yeah, country. Yeah, CMI. Yeah, it just feels like not great. This form. No. Okay, so let's make a better form. Undefined. Yeah, maybe that was old code. Yeah, I think it was old code. It's undefined. So we can sort of check that. We already check it. Oh, it's fine. We could do maybe a better fallback. So it's practice. It's this title. And then when we add it now, there's this this data is also added to the activity in the collection. So it has this goal ID. No, because we need to add it to the helper still. It is sort of the whitelist of the data. So we do need to set the goal ID is activity goal ID. Yeah, it's just Just some protection that we only save the things we want to save. Okay. Let's do it again. Activity created. So now it should have a goal ID, yeah, and a goal title. This will then let you link to it again. That should be the same one. Yeah, this is the same. Okay. So what do we need to make? We need to make this connection because we want to sort of remake this goal page, this activity status pages. So when you make activity, you also make this connection. We might want to preview it first. We can do that first. Let's do the preview. So you'll do like a bekijk activiteit. And then you can go back. I like that you can sort of watch it. And we made this already for the adventures, this preview. So we can just use that one. So we don't have to really make a new component or anything. So when we select this, and this will be like not the create, but the preview. That will be quite difficult actually. We can still create it and save it as a draft. So we can do this drafting thing. I do like that of YouTube, that you draft. So if you make a video, you can just close it and it still is there. I think that's sort of needed. As well for this, even this back button maybe. So if you change it and then select it again, maybe you can use the draft and just change the... let's say you fill this all in. You think, oh no, it's I just made all these things and I think it's a different learning goal. And then you select it again and you have to fill it in again. That's not really nice. Nice. It's just awful. People will do it once and then they will have this negative experience about the platform and they will never contribute again. That's how it works. So if they make something, or maybe even if they didn't make something, yeah, maybe they should add like a title first, and then if you press the button, we'll save it as a draft. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this draft. How can we support that? Maybe with this draft status? Is draft. And then when we make it, we can just change this draft status to published or something, or is connection, and then is published maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make a draft. Try to do it. Status is draft. I probably want to show them as well. So if you click this button, we can do something else. So when do we need to save? When we change the learning goal, that's sort of the main. So here we want to save the draft. And you can do this event-driven thing with Svelte that you fire an event. So let's do that. If you click the button, we don't want to do it, but we want to do this push event. Something like. Let's see how we do this in Svelte. Events. I always have to figure that out, but show me and then have some code. Dispatch. Yeah, so we have this event dispatcher. This is the boilerplate code we need for it. Don't need to go to anymore. We do need to hit to go to here at one point. Let's also paste that one at least somewhere. Okay. Let's copy paste again. So this is the boilerplate. Create event dispatcher, and then we have this dispatch thing, and then we can say dispatch. Go back. Or 2 learning goals. Something like that. Then we can dispatch it. We can even do some info here. But we already binded the activity, so we have all the info that we need. The text is hello. You can do a message. You can also dispatch just with nothing. This is optional. And then when you create a object, you can say on the event. Let's do something. So we can sort of take this this function as well. And let's say the go-to. Let's do the old one. Let's first test it like this. And then when we create this form, that's this one. We can say on to learning goals. Oh, to learning goals is this function. So now when this is dispatched, it will trigger this function and it will go back. That's how it works. It's pretty nice. So it should still work. So let's test it out. Dispatch. Yeah, it still works. See? It feels like, yeah, because it loads the data. This is how this event thing works in Svelte. This dispatching. And that's nice because before we want to go back, we want to save it first. We have the function in this create folder, so we have this create activity. So we can just call it create activity. Maybe use a wait for it. We can make it async and then do a wait, and then go to there. Maybe this await is not needed, but I like to wait for things. I'm old school. Okay, so let's see if it works. So let's select this one. We'll make like a nice title. It's a bit more complicated because we also need to link to this draft. So we probably should do something like draft ID or something. I could just do an ID as well. I think a query is better than a new route. What's the ID? We should get this back from this is the result ID. Maybe we can return it. Yeah. Let's maybe set this to the draft ID or something. So there could be errors, and then we probably don't need to set this draft ID. So if draft ID, we should do this. Else we'll just go back and you'll have like should never see an error, but sometimes you'll get them. Draft ID. So we sort of have this one, and this will be the normal one. Let's test it out. And let's make a title. So you did some info here. And then we get this activity created, but we don't get this link, this go to. So the draft is saved, but where's it waiting for? It should be here, but what's going on? The go-to isn't working, it seems. I'll just do a few logs, see what's going on. This was as expected, this ID thing, but I would also expect this link, because we dispatch the event. Yeah, now it does work. And it links now back with this draft ID in the query. So if we select it, it's more like an edit form now, instead of a create. If that makes sense. So we have created the activity already, but it's not really doing anything. It's just in the Firestore, it's in this draft status. Dun, dun. So nice face. They make sometimes they make good videos. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but they had this leadership meeting in Firebase. Yeah, you just have to watch it. It's sort of funny. Yeah, this Firebase Summit leadership. And I didn't watch it yet, but this was sort of funny. She, her, he, him. But then you sort of know what meeting it is, right? If that's if that's in the video thing. Yeah. How do you want to be called? El Papa Pig. What's your pronoun? I think it's okay that they do this, but still, it's a bit. I didn't watch it, so I shouldn't have opinion about it. But if I see this, I'm sort of like, okay, that's sort of. You don't have to say it; you can sort of see it, right? That's the default option. So might be useful if there was some other options, but yeah. Should we always include this in our names? Timestamp for topics. Okay. Even if you're not an engineer. Yeah, how to manage inclusivity and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a big topic. Yeah. Yeah, just something funny. I think it's he, her, she, her. Yeah. Maybe I need to still get it or something that it's needed, but I don't get it, to be honest. If it's the default one, then you shouldn't probably add them to your titles. Yeah. Okay. Test. So we have made this draft, and let's say we want to change the learning goal. We want to change the learning goal on the draft and not on the new one. So this learning goal is broken, it seems. We still have some broken ones. Yeah. So we need to fall back for that. I can exponential growth and then your growth is classified. Yeah, it's not a sentence, but it's something. So create an activity. Yeah, this should be edit form now because we already have the draft. Let's also change this to preview. What's that? Preview in Dutch. That's sort of got the voorbeeld. Yeah. Vooraf beoordelen. Not the best words. Let's say look at activity. Maybe instead we can do a draft. I also have to Google that. Draft. So now concept. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, concept. That's the word. Save the concept and look at it. That's the default option. Then you also have this edit. And this is the same for the edit form. So what's the difference between editing and creating? One is that this ID is generated. So we probably don't want to save a draft if you just edit, like do this without doing something. This one is broken. What was it? This one? Yeah, this one. No, this one is broken. Yeah, this probably only exists in the index. This one, and not in the Firestore. So we have to remove it from the index. I think we removed everything, but we forgot one, apparently. But we can use it for fallback. Leerdoel niet gevonden, ga terug. Something like that. Select a different one. Yeah, but these links should always work. So maybe we should do some Firestore function to loop the index and make sure everything still is there. But this is only for development that we have this. So what if you edit it now? Then you have if I did this, I wouldn't have like 5 drafts because this would be the edit form. So it would just change the learning goal and still be in this draft state. Yeah, so we want to detect. Yeah, I think we want to do this. Else you will get like 20 drafts in pretty easily if you just use the form a bit. That's not great. So we have to, if change detected, then we create it. Then we create a draft. And if change detected and there is a draft ID, then we go to this link, and also this is sort of the default link. So we don't have to save it if it's if the draft didn't change. So how can we detect if something has changed? We can sort of look at these values and see if it's different. Not default, something like that. activity, then return true. Okay, still. So we can sort of do some if statements, and it'll be awesome. And we can maybe do like this draft thing, but it's okay to save it if nothing has changed, if it's already a draft, so it's not really an issue. It's a bit of a long thing. Status we don't need to check. Oh, we don't want to hit here. Description is empty. Type. Difficulty is 1. SVG. So it really doesn't add too much value if you didn't change anything, then it doesn't matter, right? Then you can just use the normal one. You have the same info. Video ID is not null. If you change one thing, then it's fine to save a draft. So it will return true if there is a change, so if it's not the default, and false if it's all the same. So if it's false, it will not create an activity and it will not link to this draft ID. Let's test it. I'll just go back one time, and then we can detect it by seeing this URL. Okay, so it did detect a change. That's interesting. What did it detect? Let's take a look. Which number will we see? Go down. So this is my way of debugging console logs with numbers. I did manage for SAPA, I did manage to get this inline that you can debug line by line, but I think for this client-side code it's pretty difficult to do. I didn't even attempt to sort of get it to work. There's this JavaScript in your browser, but it's compiled by SvelteKit, so it's not great. So it's 8. 8 is the it's these quizzes. So what is in these quizzes then? We need to maybe check the length or something instead of this array. I think the equals doesn't work on arrays. Yeah, it is empty, so we can just check the length. Should be 0. Now it should work. Yeah, now we don't get this draft ID, so didn't save it. If we look now in the Firestore, we see a lot of activities. So these are all drafts, most of them. You see this status draft, it's just a default thing, you know? See, just a learning goal, but the rest is default. So it's not really great. There's some tests as well, but I think most of it is in this default state. Where's the draft? Oh, we don't store it yet. But now we get a little bit less drafts saved. Only if you actually change something, we'll save it. Just some minor improvements also for debugging, but also for the user. Because we will show this draft somewhere. I'm not sure where. Maybe we should add another list to the sidebar, like this: drafts, open and concept activiteiten. Something like that. It's still in concept phase. Maybe open first, that's important, and then the concept, and then published. Something like this. See, these sidebars are pretty useful. You can sort of put a lot of info here. With tabs, it would be already too big, but with a sidebar, it's okay. So we might want to do sidebar for some other things as well. Maybe one day. Yeah, you also want to limit the amount of options, but yeah, you can sort of group it under activities later. But we need a design for it then. Activities, like we had before. If we have 3 pages, that might be useful. Or sidebar in a sidebar. We'll just do it like this. Sidebar here, sidebar here, sidebar here. We can go bananas with these menus. But let's not do that yet. Let's just add them to one list. Keep it simple. Stupid. Right? Kiss. Da, do, 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 da, 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 da. What are we doing? Yeah, we should go to the code. Yeah, so we have this draft ID and we have this edit form. Let's use the same naming in the buttons. So it doesn't look like a difference, but there is a small difference, and that's the way to save it. Or maybe we should even include this one in the form now, but there was a difference before. Let's just keep it like this. So if we're in this draft state, if activity status is as draft, then I want to keep the same title that we had before, and else I want to use this change activity. So we have to think about these things as well. If it's still in a draft, then you're not editing it. You're sort of still making it. And this is actually, the title is gone. So we don't have the title on the create form because we do it on the other page. We still have this div. Let's wijzig hier activiteit. I think that's sort of the maybe the logic then. If draft. This is just some way of seeing if it's in a draft state or not. Maybe we can also do like is draft somewhere above here. No breadcrumbs are no longer needed. And maybe you can also show it in the other one. Maybe we should do it here. How does this look, this form? Where should we show it? Maybe here, like this snack bar? No, it's chip. is draft. Do we have a chip? So right off the title. Should probably look at one of these pages. There's probably some chips. Like this. Requires JS is draft. It's called a chip, right? That's at least in this Google way of doing it. Material design. Yeah, this. What's it called? Nah, not really this one. Let's see if I have one more. Yeah, we can get rid of the timer. We're not really doing that today. Having a little bit of yeah, no, it's more like chip, people. We need a chip. Probably should be something. Yeah, we can design our own ones, but I don't like that. Form layouts. So this is the form layout we use, one of them. It's pretty clean. Stats, testimonials, header sections. Yeah, this is more like the sales part of the websites, the landing pages. It's pretty nice that they have this, but failed success processing. Not really useful. Headers maybe. Flyout menus, this draft now. So we should probably do a 404 page as well, a nice one. It's pretty nice to have a well-designed 404 page. That's sort of a sign that your project is mature. If you have a good 404 page. It's even better if you never reach it, but yeah, it's sort of impossible sometimes. And this one, it's a button. There's probably one like this, full time, create new job. Sections, headers, job title. This is pretty clean. Search, sort. It's pretty clean. Do like that one. In engineering, in draft. So this one. I just add it maybe here. Maybe that will look okay. It's the edits form, I think. Yeah, we're working in the wrong form. To display this, so let's say like this, in engineering. Okay. So let's go to the route again, this one. And here we do the title thing. So we have this title span. And this is part of the sidebar thing. And here at the bottom we have these title things. And this has this H1. This has H3. Open, this one might be cool as well. So I have this edit menu. Don't like that, but I do like the open thing. This thing. The rest we can ignore, I think. Maybe edit here. So after this, we have this content. Check it out one more time. So we have this h1, p, a div. There's just another div. Yeah, you don't. It's hard to understand these divs. So often it's best just to copy paste it and see what happens. If you just add it and close it, maybe. Like this. Draft. So we get it like this now. Concept. So we're missing a few divs. Open. Yeah, so I think this justify between. That's probably okay. Justify between is sort of splitting it up. But I'm not sure what you get if you have this. Maybe remove this one and then what do we get now? We still need to close it, right? This should be it, I think, yeah. Okay, so now it looks like this. This is better. Concept. These have a sort of feeling that's in... we can do the status thing. So how can we make this now? We can sort of do this slot thing again. Status. And then we can use it on every page where we use a sidebar. If we want to use a title with a label, we can even do some options here or some different text. And the default could be empty maybe, but I think it's nice to put like a default value, status. I get it like this. If you don't want to show it, yeah, maybe don't do the default one. It's sort of so yeah. Without the slot, it just works as well. Oh, it will be okay. Maybe there's some issues with this mobile view. Did we have it before? Small items, baseline. So why is it? I want to check real quick if we have the same issue before. So I'll just go back with the code, see how it works now. I'm not sure if we have the same issue with the margins and the paddings. No, now it's okay. So what's the difference? It has to do with this. PX is the same here, but What if we add these things here? Let's fix it. Yeah. Okay, at least it's aligned again. I'm not sure about these margins, and we probably need to fix them a bit because it's way too much. How much should it be? Maybe because of this thing. What's going on here? Yeah. The excess is not great. Boom. The X4 might be even too big as well. So there's also some padding here. so much padding. I think that's probably, yeah, this is better. Padding X is 0. Yeah, that should be the default, no padding. And this is also so many padding thingies. And this is padding I, padding left. I think the left is the more important one. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, this is much better. Much cleaner for this. Yeah, for the... Here it needs some padding, the content. But only on this MD thing. So MD I think it was. Middle screen or something. Padding left 4. I think it's something like this. Now the content should be padded. Yeah, this is okay. I just want to fix it a little bit at the end of the day. And the same for the title thingies. Like this, clean padding, clean margins. Yes, not too much padding. Give it room to for the text. Some padding. I think it should be 4 or something. This is okay. It should be small. Yeah, looks okay. And now on every title you see it. You see the status thing. You see the status. So on every page of the sidebar we have this new thing because we use this component. It might be useful like to display it sometimes, but not now. By default we'll leave it empty. And here we have the create activity button. So here we could maybe show it. Then we could do this. Yeah, what we can do I think is this span here. We use that one and then we say slot is status. And now we can do a draft a concept. So only on this page where we use the form, it will have this status thing on the right. I'm not sure about the layout, but at least we have this concept. It's better than nothing. We have this concept thing. And if we're using a published one, we could see like the status there as well. So we have a little bit of a feeling what the status of activity is. So we didn't do much about these Firestores yet. We didn't create these collections. But we did think about them and made the architecture. How late is it? It's pretty late already. So we probably will get into it on Monday and just improve the form a little bit. We have to make the edit form, but I'm sort of... It's Friday, you know? I have this meeting. I think I'm done for today. I'll just make some eggs or something. Maybe some fries. It's Friday, you know. I have to relax a little bit. I still have work to do today. Like, why do they plan this meeting on Friday? What's the deal with that? I have to be in meetings. I'm never in meetings anymore. Some protein-filled meat post-workout, bro. Yeah, I did do some push-ups before the stream. I thought, like, let's get some energy up. Let's do it for El Peppa Pig. I go to 3 of them. So, yeah, it's almost the same as 3 sets of 12, right? But yeah, I'm sort of motivated to clean up the room and to do some fitness. So maybe some post-workout streaming. Instead of gaming now, eating, maybe do some pull-ups, some squats. Why not? Let's do that. I'll do it off stream. But yeah, I feel it. I feel it. Let's do it. Indeed. Let's get some energy going. And then and definitely not too much, but at least start, you know, even if it's only a few sets. Why not? definitely helps, this motivation for me. Be accountable. So I'll do that. And Monday we'll have the energy to fix it. We'll get the blood pumping, we'll get the muscle going, we'll tear it. Yeah. Definitely. So I'll do that, and you guys, El Papa, definitely persevere, and perseverance. It's a difficult word to pronounce. Definitely do that. Thanks, Black Tomcat as well for showing up, and of course El Papa, and even the relaxed man with his Counter-Strike project. He still tries to convince me to make for him, but we have so much work to do still. So maybe if he shows up every day for a year, maybe I could help him a bit. I'll bribe people with development work to join the stream. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do a workout. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Hopefully see you on Monday or a different day next week. I'll be here. See you later. Bye bye.